our matches, especially because we're using a trial, I guess technically, in Rampant
Hey,
Rhino
but limited piece of
as our
funds here.
main
I'm able to
tank.
put it past them to be able to at least get some distance covered. We'll
So I
see
just
how
wanted to like look at our matches,
they're going to
see
bring
what
the tables
we
in
did
front.
right and wrong.
Dive composition out here. Triple DPS. Going with that solo healer with the Mercy. A little
Their dive
surprising, but
ends up
a little bit
being
of
pretty
offense making
awkward
things
here,
different.
where they don't end up pressuring us off the high ground. They kind of just walk onto the high ground and try to walk at us. And you can see the strat really doesn't work. Their monkey ends up just like getting absolutely destroyed, and we really haven't been pushed off high ground together
Lots
yet.
of pressure to put out.
And right here, this is
We
where it
kind of
becomes
just are
very
able to kill
difficult with
them.
that solo support, where you have to, use
Unfortunately,
guys like
we
Malicious
lose
and Tekka
Tekka
as your
here, but I
barrier.
mean, the damage has already been done, where the Mercy has to fly so aggressively in because they've taken so much damage that
Aggressive. Now you only have one person who
we
can
really just gotta
actually
clean up this
heal
fight
here,
for
and it's going
free.
to be one person at a time. They're going to be slowly just kind of
They
chipping
didn't
down
end
and
up positioning
suffocating,
correctly, so
and that's going to be
we really just
definitely
gotta punish
bad,
them.
again, just with a really solid first hold.
I'm not so sure how I felt about that solo healer. They're going to go ahead and move the Genji, though, over to the Zenyatta. So maybe just trying to apply a lot of pressure out of the gate here and put that Genji Tracer 76 into the back line, but didn't really get a whole lot. So he makes the change. Nonetheless,
They ideally want the Tracer to come behind us and actually pressure us on the high ground and have them collapse at the same time, but
ultimate ready to
we'll
go
see what they
forward.
do. I can't
So
exactly
making
remember what
that
they
much
did.
more difficult to get past that Valkyrie coming out from the Mercy.
They went too slow last time trying to attack
With this
our
kind of
defense because
initiation
we're all
from this
stacked up here,
jungler,
so you
you
have to
don't
be
really
quick
have a
to
lot of
actually push us
choices
off the
to
high ground.
progress on that high ground. It's really
Okay,
just going to
so
come
they
down
send
to
the monkey
Nikki
up,
just
and we
trying to
actually
throw
fall
them.
back.
They actually do get them off, and that's going to open things up for Malicious 6 here.
The problem here is that I described this to our team. We have our Tracer and
And on
Monkey
the
in the
other end,
back, and we do lose forwards here, but they've committed so hard onto the blue card
So
that
you're
they don't
able to take
realize
it.
that
Rhino and
there's
Tekka on
nowhere for them
top
to
of
go
each
back
other.
to. Like,
Applying
they try to
pressure into
jump
the back
backwards,
line. The
but
76
Tekka and
not
Rampant
able
have
to
already
move
killed
around whatsoever. They did find
everyone
some
in the back line. Like, I
creative
think it was
movement
just
there
their
across the
Monkey
side,
and Diva who had
towards
actually
that
ended up killing
Mercy, but
forwards,
just didn't
and then
manage to
everyone
get
else
there
died to
in
the
time.
Monkey and
Able to
Tracer.
put out 76.
So we
Tried
played
to
that
take full
beautifully.
advantage of the high ground and was just shut down by the Winston Tracer and Hero. Now they're sitting on 6 ultimates with 2
The
to
dynamic of these
go.
comps
They've made it
start to be a little bit different once ults actually come up, but I
so
mean,
far without
we
any
have
miss,
6
but
ults right now,
I can't imagine
so
what
we're
they're
able
going
to
to do with the
really just
rest of
defend super easily. And unless their Zen actually plays safe and actually gets like some healing done with his Harmony Orb, in these pushes, if you just do them instantly over and over and over again, he doesn't really get that much ult charge. He needs to be in a longer sustained fight. You can see the difference in ult
This is
charges
going to
between
be
the Zens.
as a start here for Malicious 6. They're going to go on to the point here. Tracer's not going to actually stick there to try to get
So
the
we're in the right
pull off
spots right
the
now.
high ground. And already a stick coming out from Tekka.
I think it was good for Rampant to counter dive rather than play aggressive because it seemed like Tekka was doing enough on his own, and they had committed the Mercy pretty aggressively in, and we were able to kill her.
And he has not been able to do anything there. The 76 Dantana just shut down here.
So
They
it's
do
again an
pick off
instance
the
of where
Tracer.
we
That's
just
going to
pull
make
back
up
as the
for the
four-man
Mercy
unit
there.
and
Some
we
nice and healthy Diva
send
damage from
Tekka and
Tekka.
or
To
our
try to
main tank player
go back to
at
basics
their
and get
soldiers
this
in on the high
charge
ground.
down to
And they
97
have yet to
seconds.
adapt to
What
it
are you going
yet,
to do
so
here?
we've
This
just been
is
holding them.
no anime allowed, just destroying them across the
Is this guy
board.
gonna swap?
I mean,
No.
they keep leaving their backline open, right? I mean, we see
So if I was Malicious 6, the thing I would do is I would send more people up on the high ground and force the Tracer and Monkey back initially. Force the Monkey to jump away or force the Monkey to be hidden from the initial push and then he jumps us later and then we actually try to jump back and protect the soldier and Zen rather than doing these forceful 4v4s and 2v2s where it
they
doesn't
go
seem to
there
be
with
working out.
Beppo, and what they do is they just open everything up completely for guys like Rampant Rhino and
Or
Tekka
just
to
play
pick
it
it up
slower
and
where you
really
don't
force
play
things
as
into each
aggressive
other.
and you
And
try
these
to
guys
poke
have
them
been
out.
largely just taken out of this game. Dantana actually just got his tack visor for
But
Mercy.
you can see their Monkey went in like way before anyone else even did, and so he just gets destroyed because we have the high ground. We're able to really lay down a lot of damage with Discord and Mercy damage boost on
The
Soldier.
rest of the team not really with him. Down to 60 seconds here. You got to think
And
they've got a few
if the other
ultimates
team isn't coordinated,
locked and
then
loaded.
we get to
Actually,
play
since
in just an optimal position, and it really is difficult for the offense to do anything.
visor from Dantana has to get something going. They have to take care of this forwards on the Mercy in particular to get things in their favor.
Now we're going to see a little bit of Tracer on Tracer. Harmony Orb in favor of Tekka, so he's going to have a huge advantage here, but Sugar Free
We
pops
pull
off the
back
high ground,
again.
and he's going to have that tack visor available when that D-Matrix goes down.
NECA on that Winston pops the Primal Rage, knocks him off the high ground.
His visor doesn't end up getting as much value. I think he pulled it at a right time, but I don't think he was in the correct position to actually use it.
Trying to get something going for himself here, but it's just the
Their monkey is too far in though, so we're able to punish him again.
Tracer, maybe an opportunity to
Rampant did a good job of zoning, but I think we just fell apart because we had dropped from the high ground, and we really lost our position. We weren't looking to retake together, so we can watch the fight again. So we'll see how this fight is lost for us. I mean, they do have, I think, ult advantage, so they can use more to take.
Now we're going to see a little bit of Tracer on Tracer. Harmony Orb in favor of Tekka, so he's going to have a huge advantage here, but Sugar...
So we drop back here. Where is Paint?
Pops off the high ground, and he's going to have that...
Okay. I think he's getting primal, that's why he had taken so much damage. So I think we're good right here. We burned the D.Va. Paint's getting sustained now. I don't know. Okay, I don't think I agree with this visor now at this point, because they are D.Va bombing on the point. Ideally, you want to kill this Mercy. I think I would have pulled back around the corner, not walked right here where you get zoned, because their visor ends up not getting as much value. Pain is still getting hit right now. He definitely needs to be getting pocketed. I think he's still getting primaled in the back, though. There was a monkey on him. But we res him, but then you see how far back we were. So he was back by bus when he got killed. So Mercy and Zen are back by bus. Soldier's over here. Tekka's playing too aggressively on the point. Their monkey is the only one who's back here really zoning us. And I mean, we're able to kill him, but we killed the D.Va mech, but she just used her self-destruct to stay alive. And then they're able to sustain on point because they have the man advantage. They have their Mercy, Zen, D.Va, Soldier, and Tracer to just kill our monkey. So you can see how we got split up with what we actually wanted to achieve here, where we wanted to peel back to actually res our Zen and keep him alive, but we also had a smaller unit playing aggressive on the point but taking a fight 2v5, and they inevitably lost that.
A desperation move now on the side of the offense, but they've got the numbers here, so they should be able to secure this one.
It looks like they are going to be able to just sneak this.
You can't always have optimal fights, but you can at least plan around it so you know when your team is going to be doing things. And then you can also lose fights gracefully.
It really looked like they were deserving that hold as well.
That's certainly the case, but Malicious 6 actually getting a little bit of
We're just
ground
pushing
here.
out, taking the high ground for ourselves.
230 isn't much to work with, Kyrix, but if there's any map that you could easily push through to that second checkpoint, I'd say it's New Bonnie. You know, it can basically be one team fight if you play it correctly here, and they're playing rather aggressive to push back, no anime allowed, so having kind of a troubling time looking to make a push onto the payload. Rampant Rhino, though, looking to make
I like for us to walk out here with our soldier and actually be shooting at them. Like, we're kind of like playing safe. We are getting poke damage on them, but I want us to like...
try to stop that.
Okay, the monkey just kills himself. But ideally walk up together and then pressure their tanks to actually go backwards so we can walk aggressively on them.
A really rough go of it so far. He's just been
That's unfortunate.
out completely. I mean, Sugar Free has just been all over him alongside Tekka.
I think this is another play where we got a bit held up in the backline where we had 3 people paying attention to Tracer, and then we had Rampant go in, and he did get a kill on their Mercy, but our backline wasn't on the same page as our tanks. So he didn't get healed in time. I think he could have gotten an orb on him, maybe.
Again, they have to find a way to get things going for themselves. Sitting on a tactical visor, that could be what they need. Try to shut down forwards, get rid of Paintbrush as well with that Transcendence.
The two things that really worked for them were the tac visor inside of the...
Ideally, Sugar just wants to hold visor here for their Mercy and just pressure her to not actually never be able to use Valk, or just be using it in like a safe position, not able to run around and res.
Might have that pulse ball, though. They do flop out that Transcendence from both sides to get things started. Self-destruct.
Trade trances.
Not going to be the case, though. Forwards is coming up on that Valkyrie, so he's actually going to get taken down.
Yeah, forwards was way too far up. I think he might have been playing in the trance, and then he jumped towards Plug to continue healing him, but he definitely didn't cancel his Guardian Angel or anything, so he ended up flying like way too far.
Good play coming out from the D.Va, gets up in his face. They pop that tactical visor out from Dantana as well. Is he going to be able to find any targets? It looks like Sugar Free going to drop here. They've got the Valkyrie out. from the Mercy
We're
as
getting
well.
a
So
lot of
this is going to
kills,
be
and they're
one
having to
round
res them
round
to
where
just
it takes out
even
two of its
be
teammates.
close in
And
this
here,
fight.
the Diva is still in the area. The Winston is still here. They've got the 2-on-2 advantage.
So I mean, we have a
And
huge
these guys are
advantage right
trying
here.
to
Like we
tank.
basically
It looks like they're
won,
going to hold on.
went even in a
Taking
fight,
the pressure. He's gonna actually die to
and they
Victimizer, who
used
had about
Valk.
30 HP. Now it's gonna be Tracer versus Baby.
They used Valk. They used 5 ults. They just didn't use Really? I don't think they used
Baby Diva
self-destruct.
has the Tracer down to 1 health, but
Well,
gonna
we get time
hold
to
out.
regroup here and actually like contest out with Valk and Visor.
Assistance as people come back up onto the point from the attacking side of Malicious 6. Now, we do see the pulse bomb ready here for Molar T, but I haven't seen much out of it so far.
Well, they have an opportunity.
Oh, there it is!
Oh.
Pulse bomb, like you said, finds the stick there. Forwards does have Valkyrie. Going to be able to bring them back up into this one. Self-destruct. They need to stay on the payload here. Nobody's on the payload here for the defense, and that's going to be Malicious 6 getting themselves that final 90 seconds here to try to complete the map. 2 checkpoints in
Yeah, their
overtime.
Tracer basically won them
They've
that
got
fight.
have
That was
another
pretty
opportunity
unfortunate
to
for
close
us.
the distance.
We got stuck. Tech just killed everyone though.
Fight
Okay.
after fight after fight. It seems
We
like
actually didn't lose that
Malicious
point.
6
It's
has
bugged
been
right
just
now where it says
not
it's
getting anywhere
capped,
at all with no anime
but it
allowed.
isn't.
Somehow sneaking out these objective captures.
I'm pretty sure. Wait, did it get capped? I didn't. Did the time not? I'm confused. Sometimes it says like you didn't cap the point even though you did. And like it'll show like the red marker being filled. Okay, they actually did end up capping it.
People come back up onto
I was just curious because sometimes it'll end up showing the red marker but not
to
give any
shore up
extra time.
You
Go
did
back.
see the Mercy actually move over much here, and
There we go.
a lot of that coming out with a pretty much
They
a
don't have a lot of
3-second
time.
lead
Like
back on
Malicious
Malicious
6
6.
really has to get like a dominant like hold or fight right here to actually win. Oh, he almost died to his own pulse. Has to use all of his blinks and his recall though, so
Isn't a
it's.
whole lot. This is going to be no anime allowed playing rather aggressively, as we did see the Mercy actually move over to.
I think he was hoping to have a good visor there, but he really wasn't able to get anything.
Support players for the offense, but no anime
Wanted
allowed
to get a
here for
flank
a lot of
visor.
chances. Down to 20 seconds to go here.
I think a big reason why they did this is
They
because
swapped to the Rhine, but it's their comp is really slow. Like they want to take a long, lengthy fight, but it's hard to like get an advantage in those kind of fights against dive that can reposition all the time. Like they have to get ults to actually win.
but I don't know if this is going to work because these guys are just going to be super
And
successful.
Rampant is just looking to dive here. Like he just straight hard dove this Mercy. Mercy's getting Ana pocketed, which is really hard to kill, but you can see how many resources he's taking. Soldier was shooting at him, Ana was having to pocket the Mercy. The Mercy was having to run that whole time.
All the ultimate sugar free with that tac visor. And they've got a Transcendence after back, but no kills coming through thus far. Oh,
I don't know if I agree with our tac visor. I think it ended up being shot into a Rhine shield most of the time. Where I think there was a good chance he could have held it or flanked with it, like taking the high ground.
In overtime, of course, it's going to tick down rather quickly. The longer this.
We end up Valking, so we just have like a ton of sustain. We get shattered though. We took this long, lengthy fight against the Rhine, who's inevitably going to be hitting fire strikes and actually swinging on us, so we weren't playing smart around their shatter. We needed to spread out more, not be in the choke this whole time waiting to get shattered.
Coming out clutch here for Malicious 6, and they're going to continue to drudge forward in overtime.
Paint's just gonna die here, even though he wins the 1v1 against the Tracer.
They can take a little bit longer there, and that's going to be everybody back up from Malicious 6 as they get the res off onto their Tracer, who's not going to have to spend that extra time going. But remember, this is in overtime, so if they lose this next fight, or any fight, or they get thrown off of the point for just long enough.
We want to get some flank on them right now. We want to have Plug and Tekka or other people applying pressure from the back because this Rhine comp is just going to be able to sustain any poke that we put on them because of the Ana Mercy. So we need to flank them and actually put pressure on these Ana Mercy. Otherwise we're just going to lose. I don't like us going down the middle to actually try to dive through them because Rhine ends up being able to swing on us usually whenever this thing happens. You want to be able to flank them and actually like get them to turn around and use their shield inefficiently. I don't like that we tried to dive through them.
They've got all 6 on the payload. This is not good at all here for no anime allowed. Forwards is going to be taken down. Tekka with a pulse bomb. He's going to find one, but nobody's on the payload.
You can see it doesn't really work out for us trying to do that.
Man, that quickly.
How did we let that go?
Yeah, I think this is their Bastion strat. never really seen Bastion on this point. I've seen in like solo queue and like other things, you can run Torbjorn and do a similar strat with the Bastion where you put like a shield in the corner and you just have a Torb turret.
Malicious Six
But I've never
driving
really
that
seen
momentum
this strategy
all the
before.
way to the finish. And now look what they're bringing to the table. They've got a Bastion locked and
They
loaded
told me
here
about it, and
in
I
the
think
back
the
of the
way to
top
play
lane.
around it is to not do anything around this side of the map. You just straight want to go around completely and just force all the people from the high ground here, or sit next to the cart right over here where the Bastion doesn't have line of sight.
This is a
You just
pretty
want to
big
play
map
away
here.
from the
See
Bastion and force him to
where
move
they
to actually
are
do
with
anything.
that Bastion ready to go. Let's
Because
see
you won't
what
be able
their
to
team
dive
can
him.
do up against this.
This is all about proper usage of tank cooldowns. Tekka already getting a nice start there at least by
Plug
finding that
losses
first
too, that was really, really
kill
poor.
with Muller T just in the background, making sure that he's cleaning things up as well. And with those kills that he's getting right now, Malicious 6 is going to be able to hang on completely on the back of their Tracer player, Muller.
They ended up botching their shield here, and like they end up
What's
like
that?
their Orissa's at half. They lost their suit. The Bastion's out of position. Like if we would have had Plug here with his suit, and if he wouldn't have just taken that initial poke, we'd
Orisa's
actually
shield
been
is
able
no
to
longer
punish. But
protecting. It looks like it kind of is, but I don't think it actually is. So he's going to be forced to drop down. And Tekka, you need to find a way to get a grip on this Tracer. He is coming up with a few kills for himself, Purix, but it is no match for the Bastion.
I don't know about
As
either of
well,
those pulse
Tekka
bombs.
pulling
Like
right now,
Tekka and
60 seconds
Mueller
left
didn't
of
end up
round
getting
two.
anything
Need
off
to
them
find a
basically.
regroup here from the offense.
Tekka is now taking Muller on, but it's going to be tough to actually find this kill with Recall being back up. And they're going to get themselves in a little bit of a
Malicious
bind
6
once
has to
again.
set up though
Tekka can
again. Like
find
with
this
this comp, they
kill,
have to like set up if they ever get
which
pushed
he
off.
won't now with Mercy getting involved in it. And he's actually just taking his sweet time to get that Recall out. But still, I don't know. We're going to have to see how this goes. Sugar Free at
And you can see here, like
the
they weren't able
meantime.
to get back set up in the spot that they were before. And so I don't. Do they need a May to boost there? I'm not actually sure if they like May
And
swapped.
is making sure that he's taking
But ideally, the spot that they went to
good use of the
next
fact that
was pretty
Muller
poor.
isn't there anymore.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that
once
barrage was a bit of a
Dantana goes
thonker.
down on the Bastion, man, I mean, all the damage you really have is
But
going to be from that Tracer and Muller up against Tekka. I like
can really only play that
like
comp
that getting
for a
that
little
Bastion.
bit, and
They're going
then
to be able to come out on
unless
top
you
in a much quicker time than
run
we
into a
saw
team
here
that's
out
going
of
to
Malicious Six.
be
So they're
doing
going
the
to have
same
themselves
strategy over and over
4
again,
good
running into a
rounds
brick
here
wall, then
to try to grab that
we're going to
second
be able to deal with
checkpoint.
it.
And we do see Dantana now making the adjustment over to the Genji. Nikkei as
Bastion
well,
doesn't
who's
really
moving over
work
to the
past
Winston.
the
Not
first
what we saw
little
earlier, other than
try.
Dantana being on the 76. But look at this aggressive playstyle come out from No Anime Allowed here. They're going to try to one-man push that payload as far as they can.
That
I
was
would have
just some
liked
of the
us to
smart stuff
continue
from
to
Tekka
walk at
before,
them,
where he was just
not let them get
literally
any
able
ground
to
here.
from that fight. That means that there was no threat at all to their backline. They could just take their sweet time with that Bastion. That was really good stuff there. Malicious 6 just not quick enough to be able to deal with Tekka or just have Muller come back. Now they're going to be very aggressive here, looking to try to take advantage of the fact that this Genji here, Dantana, doesn't have any ult charge, and they might be able to get something going, maybe shut him
I
down
think
before
Paint
he
was
goes.
hoping that he could play aggressive there, and then I guess use his trance as soon as he got it, but we didn't get in time,
A
so we
lot
had to
of
pop Valk.
aggression towards this blade, but that's not going to be the
Forwards flies too close to the ground
case.
and gets
Malicious
pulse
6 still
bombed.
fighting away on this one.
Great sound barrier coming out there from the defense, and as well as we see this Mercy ultimate come out from Scorch, so they're going to stay nice and healthy.
Like we ended up trading Valk for their support ults, and I think that would have been fine. It would have forced them to use their support ults, but then you can see here we also commit Trance, Primal, Tracer Bomb, Diva Bomb. Like we commit way too much to a fight that's like really close, where I think we could have just taken their ults and then re-engaged,
With that in mind, they've got
where we didn't need to use as much. We could have just used our better positioning rather than just spamming ults.
forward here, but they need to be wary. Dantana coming up on a Dragon Blade potentially for this next engagement.
And they're still low here. Heppo, without a lot of his defense matrix charge, he's finally going to get that back in, which is going to be necessary for Nikkei to even go in and contest the point. Otherwise, he's going to take way too much damage here. And I think a big factor so far for No Anime Allowed is the fact that they've had this Pharah.
We have a good hold on them, and it's going to be really hard for them to re-engage here.
And also just been pulling the tanks away from the main fight on the objective a little bit too.
Dragon Blade is out though from Dantana. Can he find anything with the swipe of the sword? Looking to get to the back line, but no. Rampant Rhino with the great peel.
Sugar peeks there when he doesn't need to.
Alive here, but you still
We get the back gap though with them still.
point
Like
secured.
they were chasing kills, they were chasing our supports.
That's not a good look at all here for the defense. Dantana, you makes a move
So
onto
that
the
ended up working for
Hylios,
us.
but honestly, Malicious 6, that kind of looked like they could have held on for a little bit longer, but just not paying attention to where their
Sugar's
numbers were
somewhat
moving.
close to Barrage, but I don't think it works anymore, where we
They're going to
probably
switch
should have
forward
swapped it
just under 4 minutes here,
to
Storm,
play
before we get
Genji
to the
or
end of this.
Soldier.
And so far, with a really solid pace, have a couple of ults coming up, another barrage. They also have both Mercies actually having
I like that we're line of sighting their team and we're just fighting their tanks right now. We're taking a bit of like poke damage, but we're doing a good job of zoning their tanks and then walking forward.
Taken down, Dantana out of the picture as well. That's going to be a good sign for Sugar Free on the fair. Of course, he's going to get res back into this one here. You got to remember, if we do see no anime allowed, complete this map with 60 seconds or more, Malicious
You can
6
see
will
here we're
not
just
have
playing as a
additional
unit. This is really, really
opportunity
good
to
for us.
for in the second attempt here. But oh man, they're going to lose their Zenyatta on the point of
Because they
contact.
lost their
It's not
numbers.
going
We're
to be
not
a straight
playing
up attack from
too
the point. They
aggressive where
do
we're
come
losing a
through
lot of
quite
people.
close
We're
on
playing as a unit really.
Zenyatta, though. Even
We
in
start
the
to lose too many because I think Tekka's focusing too much on cleaning up kills. I think we probably should have taken the Tracer 1v1s because we ended up having a problem with her. Or she got behind the cart and like she started to pick people off one at a time.
But nobody's here. Nobody's back in time. Dantana trying to make it. He's gonna get stuck with the whole farm. Tekka kills himself, and
Tekka
now
ends
we
up
lose the
sticking
map.
the McCree and he
Pretty
runs into
short
him.
on it.
which is
It's
all
pretty
the
funny.
time that they're going to possibly need to be able to get that first over to Militia 6. It's taken completely away from them. You know, they had the Tracer on that first defensive fight that they had,
Let's get
just
forward
going
a
in
little bit more.
pressure. There's nothing to deal with that backline, and they were able to just walk right into the point with Sugar Free on that Bastion. Had a lot of support from the dive coming in from Rampant Rhino and Plug. So, I mean, that kind of stuff, that adaptability, certainly on the side of no anime allowed, and we haven't seen as much of that so far from M6.
3 minutes is going to
Go.
be a heck of
3
a
minutes
time
to basically do whatever we want.
Six right now, and they're not going to be going back to the Bastion here because it didn't work for them. They lose their Zenyatta right off
We
the
changed our approach a little bit here. I don't know if we needed to. I think it might have been scouting to see if they had a Bastion again, where you want your just pharmacy to check it rather than your tanks.
bat. They don't have a Mercy here.
We don't end up protecting our Zen though. Like that's actually a pretty big deal. But whenever we check that they don't have Bastion, we need to regroup here completely. Like we should probably walk back and just res, paintbrush, and then like go aggressive. Might actually try to force. I think it's okay. Because we had already traded both Zens. Hordes dies though. I think Sugar wasn't in a good spot. Like we didn't have a good spot for the Mercy to go to. And we didn't have our Zen to heal him, so they just tried to suicide dive for our Mercy. They end up getting him, but
is it enough to hold no anime allowed back? Zenyatta making his way back to the point, but they're all kind of being pushed off right now. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to touch this one, and no anime allowed.
yeah, our tank's just like pushed up and like we're actually just sitting in their face.
Like no anime allowed thought that they were going to be able to pull that off.
Didn't let them like actually touch the point. They suicided for it, but
between his spawn and the point, just
it's because we didn't have any healers there, so they just tried to force them off the point with CC.
But then nobody got on the point at all for N6, and they lost the point because of it. And I agree. I think not
Alright,
having that
let's
Mercy
go
is
to
a
the
big
next
deal,
map
but I
here.
think
King's Row.
that old school defense, which